G'day everyone, great to have your company on the NTFA Footy Show. With thanks to DLM Machinery, it is grand final eve for NTFA Division 1 and we'll have it all covered for you tomorrow, all three grand finals to be live streamed, but obviously we hope to see thousands at the stadium tomorrow. It should be a cracking day. We'll also tonight take a look at the Premier Division. It is preliminary final day down at Georgetown at the beautiful Blue Gum Park. And we've also going to have a look in depth tonight at the men's and women's Division 1 grand finals as well. But as we do every week, with thanks to the Little Rivers Brewing Company, it is time for our photo of the week. And how can we go past this absolute beauty? The poor cow that got painted. Have a look at that. Go, Roos. We might find out a little bit more about this later on. It was actually taken by Deloraine player Ella McLennan. I think it's pretty hard to go past that one as our photo of the week. And I reckon it'll be milking very, very well after being pumped up with some paint like that. So that's our photo of the week. She's going to score herself a 4-pack of Little Rivers Crafty Cuts. So thank you to them. And that is our pick of the week. All right. Now, as we mentioned, it is Premier Division preliminary final weekend as well. The grand finals next Saturday at UTAS Stadium. Let's have a look at what is coming up tomorrow down there. It is Georgetown, and they're going to be playing host to Old Launcestonians and Old Scotch in the prelim tomorrow. That is at 10:40 a.m. The winner is going to take on the unbeaten Bridgenorth in the grand final next Saturday at UTAS Stadium. So 10:40 tomorrow morning for the women. And let's have a look at the men's Premier Division matches scheduled down there. It all gets underway at 8:50 tomorrow morning. The South Launceston Bulldogs are going to be taking on Old Scotch. Scotch and South should have a cracking game here. The winner is actually going to take on Georgetown in the grand final next week. So Premier Division grand final looks like having quite a few different sides in the grand final, which is absolutely fantastic. At 12:15, Bridgenorth are going to take on Longford in the reserves prelim. The winner then to take on South Launceston in the grand final. And then at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, the senior game. This will be an absolute cracker. South Launceston and Rochalee. We said before the final started, you could pretty much throw a blanket over the top four. They were only separated by 1.5 wins. South and Rochalee, the winner of that, well, they're going to take on Hillwood in the grand final, who got that victory last weekend. So straight through to the grand final. So that should be a beauty. We'll have a big preview on all the prelims, on all the Premier Division grand finals next week here on the show. But tonight it is about Division 1. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to meet the presidents of Old Scotch and St Pat's, who I think are pretty excited about tomorrow. That'll be coming up next.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice, call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Welcome back to the NTFA Footy Show. With thanks to Harrison Agents, it's now time for our Club in Focus, except this week it's Clubs in Focus because we are previewing the Division 1 men's grand final seniors, but they're also meeting in the reserves. It is Old Scotch and St Pat's, and it's great to have Jim Dennis, president of Old Scotch, and Ian McCallum from St Pat's. Guys, familiar territory. Of course, both clubs played off last year. Jim, firstly, obviously St Pat's won the premiership last year, but for you guys, unbeaten so far this season, been in brilliant form and so much depth. How's the squad feeling? How are you feeling ahead of tomorrow?
Yeah, excited but extremely nervous.
And what's the build-up been like for the club? Because obviously a bit of time off, bit of time to freshen up, I guess, as well for the side after the second semi.
Yeah, been mindful across the club to try and do things, as they say, not to change too much, but you also want to do things differently because it's pretty special. So just trying to balance those things up. And Brayley and the other coaches have had everyone working pretty hard. They had a really hard session last Saturday and the rest week. So hopefully going into it, well prepared but yeah, so taking nothing for granted, that's for sure.
No, can't do that. Macca, obviously great year last year. And I think you mentioned before it was more the relief that you won the premiership. This year, a little bit different. Scotch have obviously been the benchmark all year. How do you think you can beat them for the first time this season on grand final day?
It's definitely different. Last year, I guess 20 years without a premiership and playing in multiple grand finals and so forth, and it was almost a relief. I'm probably, this year I'd say, more excited about this one. We've got to go the hard way. It's been I'll be very honest and say it's been a tumultuous 2 weeks. We were very disappointed in the second semi with our seniors and our reserves. And sometimes you've got to look adversity in the eye. My role at the football club over the last few years has been more as a back seat, and I steer it from behind. I took a very positive attitude next week. Yes, and I spoke to the entire group on the way we had to react to that, and I was very proud of what was achieved down at Georgetown. So tomorrow it's the old adversity. It's Scotch again in ones and twos, which is classic. It's a classic rivalry, it really is.
You mentioned tumultuous. It has been. Obviously, Jake Lasky got reported a couple of incidents. He was out. He's back in. What has that done to the side?
Well, once again, I'll be very honest. When it happened the first week, it had an effect on us. There's no doubt about that. Jake is leader of the club. We talked about that. We have to own that. Jake knows. Jake has to own that, and we've dealt with it and moved on. Pleaded guilty, got the 1 week. We always thought we were a chance with the tribunal. What saved Jake at the tribunal was having a video. The tribunal looked at the video. It was downgraded from intentional to reckless with a guilty plea, which meant 1 week down to reprimand. So Jake has the opportunity, as we do at redemption on Saturday.
Jim, what happens off the field you can't control, but what happens on the field you can. And I'm interested more as a holistic thing for Old Scotch, because your women, your under-18s, and the depth you've got at men's level in seniors and reserves, we know, because you're obviously in the grand final of both. But talk us through the last 2 or 3 years where this steady growth and quality of players, and in particular, I guess, the junior system, how that's going at Old Scotch, because from the outside, it really looks like the club is just building every year.
It really, it certainly has been a big effort to get to that point. Lots of people doing lots of different things. The relationship with East Launceston, so many of our players coaching down there in both men and women's sides, I think that's been a huge part of it. Lots of people really doing lots of different things across the board, and it's all sort of coming together, I guess. I mean, we haven't really had time to reflect on it at all, but it's just lots of contributions from lots of different people, and no real silver bullet at all, but sort of pulled every switch on the wall.
Fantastic. Now, we've got a few photos in the lead up to tomorrow's grand final to show you now. But, Macro, I want to talk to you in particular because you guys as a club done very well in the under-18 space, and now you've got a provisional women's licence, and you're in such a massive area there up in that sort of greater Prospect area. You must be excited about where the club's heading.
Very excited. Very similar to Scotch with their relationship with East Launceston. Our relationship now, of course, is with the Prospect Junior Football Club, providing pathways. The under-17 girls obviously now have a pathway to come to us next year. And we're definitely two football clubs, Scotch and St Pat's, on the up, which is it's great for football, because I've been here for 11 years now and I hear all these stories about football clubs fading away. But I think Scotch and St Pat's are heading in the right direction.
Brilliant. Now, Jim, I just want to finish off. Obviously, we know a few weeks ago, very sadly, your club and the NTFA, because he was a legend and icon of it, in Jeff Sauce Price, very sadly passed away. Obviously, he's probably being reminded to be watching down, very proud and excited about what's coming up tomorrow down at Georgetown and, of course, at UTAS Stadium. But how has the impact been on the club, and how has the club handled it? Because on the field, they've been exceptional.
Yeah, I mean, it has been tough. Lots of reminders of Sauce around. I mean, there's been some great things that have happened to honour him. I mean, one fantastic thing was the final at Perth, where Tim Chugg organised the minute silence.
It was brilliant.
So that was great to see at a ground we weren't even playing at.
Yes.
To see so many to stop for him. There'll be plenty of chances to reflect on Sauce. I mean, he would have been very keen to understand teams for tomorrow, and certainly would have been well and truly involved. But his son James and Mark will hopefully both be there tomorrow. James certainly travelled down from Queensland, so he'll be there through them. So that'll be great to have them at the ground.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Well said. Well, look, Jim, Macca, we wish you both well tomorrow. It's lucky for me, I'm the middle person, so I'll just be upstairs calling it. But I'm looking forward to it because it'll be a fantastic game. And but well done on the seasons that your clubs have had, not only in the seniors but obviously in the other levels as well. It's been a great year, and it's probably reflective of just how good the crowds are as well. I mean, we know in Division 1, I think they're up about 20% on last year, but should be a great day, and there'll be plenty of noise out there. Look forward to it. All the best. Wish you well.
Thanks, Rick.
Good on you. All right, Division 1 Grand Final. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, all the action, and we look forward to seeing all the matches tomorrow. You can catch them on the NTFA Facebook page, also on YouTube. There's the details there. We've got the reserves, and that is going to be between Old Scotch and St Pat's at 11:25, and then at 2 o'clock, the senior game tomorrow afternoon between Old Scotch and St Pat's. If you can't get to the game, you can watch it right here on the NTFA Footy Show. Time for a break. Women's footy coming up next.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice, call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Welcome back to the NTFA Footy Show. Thanks to Cleanaway now. It's our women's segment, and it is going to be a big day for these two teams here. And it is the Meander Valley Suns taking on Deloraine. It is a battle of the Meander Valley region. Tomorrow should be an absolute cracker of a game, and we're looking forward to it. But before we preview it, we've got a special presentation to make because Hannah Mitchell-Grimer, you won the Bogues MVP a few weeks ago, but you weren't able to join us here, but you did take our call and video, which was fantastic. But congratulations, firstly, on your season. Personally, very deserving winner of it. And have you spent that prize money?
No, not yet. It will be going towards our footy players trip now. I've changed it from going in my savings.
Well, that's very nice of you to do that, isn't it?
I was told I had to. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Thinking of others.
Yeah.
Well, look, a very deserving winner. We might get Renee Walker to maybe present the medallion. So this is the Bogues MVP medal for the Player of the Year as voted by the coaches. So it is a prestigious award. So thanks to your coach and obviously all the other coaches as well. You got enough votes to score it, but well done.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks.
Now, you obviously through to the grand final. It's been an amazing season. The improvement of the club from the beginning of the season to where you are now. Talk us through that, what the expectations might have been at the start of the year, because you've just beaten a side a couple of weeks ago who went through undefeated. Where has the improvement come through over the whole season gradually?
I think, honestly, it's just been a massive team effort. Like, we've been very, very dedicated on the track, doing constant work. And I think Renee can fill in a little bit in terms of where the girls started, their goals to get to the point where we are now. Yeah, but I'll let you talk more on it. But
so when we first started, we set goals for each year. So the first year was just to get a score on the board. The second year was to make finals. Unfortunately, we just missed out on that. So we were ready to get pumped up and ready to make the grand final, which was our goal for this year.
Fantastic. Well, you've reached it. And Charlotte, for you guys, you've come off a great couple of years. Of course, made the grand final last year where you went down to South, but you had some great battles with these guys over the course of the year, but the confidence must still be pretty high because you've had an amazing season and it was a tight affair. So do you still take a lot of confidence coming into tomorrow?
Yeah, we do. Look, I think last year's loss as well has given the girls a little bit more hunger to really go one better this year. Deloraine have been our toughest contenders all year, and it's always they've pretty much been the team to beat. So Yeah, we do still go in with confidence. We back our teammates and we are confident that we can get across the line. However, we have to perform on the day, and we're just really excited to be out there playing on such a great venue.
Yeah, indeed. Key, I'll ask you because obviously it's always hard sometimes coming back from a loss, but it was an outstanding performance from the team last week down at Georgetown. And just on that, I mean, playing on a magnificent ground down there, which dimension-wise, not that dissimilar to UTES Stadium. Was that a really good hit out for you guys ahead of going on a really big ground tomorrow?
Yeah, we were pretty excited to be playing at Georgetown. It definitely suits our style of play, using the wide oval, and coming off a loss against Deloraine. It really got us back to the drawing board, and we watched a lot of footage, and we got together just to kind of work on the things that we can keep on improving, so that hopefully can be a tougher match for us on the grand final.
We've got a few photos we'll show you now on the screen as well. But Renee, obviously yesterday posing there with the Premiership Cups. It was a magnificent day weather-wise yesterday compared to what it is today. But I think tomorrow might be a little bit better, maybe not quite as warm as it was yesterday. But we've also got this other spectacular photo here of the cow coming up in a moment as well, which obviously won our photo of the week. But point being, the community support in Deloraine has been quite magnificent, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been huge. They're always standing behind the whole club, and it's great to see all the blue and white throughout the street. So it's very good to see.
Have you handled the last couple of weeks, obviously having that week off, and with a top four, obviously when you do get that week off, it turns out to a fairly long break with finals. But how have you guys handled that?
We've just pretty much been on track. We've had some really good training sessions the last couple of weeks, so we're just nailing things down with all structures and stuff like that. So I think we're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, you've also obviously had some great support as well, even a local cafe here in town getting behind the Meander Valley Suns. There we can see. You want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, so big shout out to the Green Bean. Charlie Giddens, one of our players, and her parents own that cafe. So they've been behind us all year, and it's really great to see that the support's not only coming from Westbury, our town, but also in town as well. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And last year we saw enormous support at the game as well, because the men all came out there. Are they heading out there tomorrow as well?
Yeah, I think the men are a little bit more excited than we are at this moment. We've definitely got a lot of support. Trainings have been great. They've been coming out to every training, supporting us.
Fantastic.
Old players, new players, it's been great.
There's nothing like community football, really, is there, where everyone gets behind it. It's fantastic. Look, you two sides have been the best all season in Division 1. It should be, I actually think this will be one of the tightest games of the day tomorrow. I think it'll be an absolute beauty. We're looking forward to it. Details on the screen. If you can't get out there, 9:30 is first bounce at UTES Stadium tomorrow. So please get on out there. You can still buy tickets online for $10 for adults tonight until 9 o'clock, or it's $15 at the gates. Kids under 16 are free, and there's concession discounts as well, which should be a great day. Good luck to all of you. Thank you for coming in. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks.
All right, time for a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with a bit of a look at what else is making news in footy around the state.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice, call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Thanks to Crafty Cuts, part of the Little Rivers Brewing Company. It's time for football around Tasmania. A couple of grand finals coming up this weekend, which we'll take a look at now. And firstly, it's Ulverston that are going to be playing host to the NWFA Grand Final tomorrow afternoon. Should be a cracking day there. The Reserves Premiership decider between Wesleyvale and Sheffield is the first match. That'll be at 12 p.m. And then it's Wesleyvale again in the seniors. They've had a terrific season. They will be up against Motten Preston in the senior grand final. That is from 2 o'clock to decide the premiers in the NWFA for season 2023. There's also grand finals happening down south at North Hobart Oval on Sunday. It is the SFLW grand final with the three divisions down there. And the three games, Division 1, well, that grand final gets underway at 2 p.m. and it's the North Hobart Demons taking on the Kingborough Tigers. It is Kingborough's very first grand final, so good luck to them. That game at 2 o'clock, the Division 1 Premiership decider. In Division 2, that gets underway at 12 p.m. and that will see Claremont taking on Lauderdale in the grand final for Division 2. So 12 o'clock at North Hobart Oval, and then at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, the Division 3 Premiership decider will see St Virgil's and Dodgers Ferry in action there. So a massive day of football coming up at North Hobart Oval this Sunday, the SFL Women's Grand Final. So that is it for what is coming up in footy around Tasmania. We hope to see you at the grand final on Saturday for the NTFA Division 1. If you can't be there, you can catch all the action here on the NTFA Footy Show and also on the NTFA Facebook page. Give a shout out to those who may not have social media. You can also watch it on YouTube. And then on Sunday, please join us as well, because it is the Division 1 Best and Fairest announcements, and we will have the reserves, Division 1 women and men's seniors best and fairest counts. Abby Green will be joining us for the count as well. We'll have Sean Muller here for the men, so we look forward to that. That's from 1 p.m. this Sunday afternoon. And then our final show for 2023 next Friday. It is the deciding weekend, of course, for Premier Division. Who's going to be in it? Well, we'll find out by Saturday afternoon, but we hope you can join us next week as well. That's all we've got time for. Big thanks to DLM Machinery. We look forward to getting your company from the grand final at UTAS Stadium this Saturday.